Everyone is the same. 2 eyes, 2 hands, 2 legs, and so on. But what makes us different? It's the skills. Some of the wealthiest and rich people in the world have a totally different set of skills. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you the top 7 skills that you need to have if you want to be on the top of the game and create more abundance in your life. Let's get in. My name is Siddharth Rajsekar, and I'm going to be decoding that in this special mind map. 7 skills that's going to make you rich. So let's get started. The first one is the skill of teaching, and I'm going to go deep into these skills one by one so that you understand the essence of this. Now, why is teaching an important skill? Most teachers are not very well paid, but if you look at some of the top influencers in the world today on the internet, they're great teachers, they're good communicators. So communication is the essence, but teaching is to be able to give value and information. So when it comes to teaching, I want to break it down into 3 parts. First part is the ability to teach using videos, like what I'm doing right now. Once you build the skill of video creation, video content creation, it'll help you duplicate yourself multifold while your videos can work for you while you sleep. And that's a very high leverage skill when you start mastering it. The second skill is the skill of audio. If you're going to be doing podcasts, if you're going to be recording different kinds of audio, and learning the basic editing skills of audio and video is going to help you have an edge and give you that momentum. Okay. Number 3, the skill in conducting webinars. See, recording content like this is one, but to be able to hold somebody's attention for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, 1 hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours in a live webinar format, that's an amazingly high leverage skill as far as teaching is concerned. So the first skill, if you want to really become rich, is to become an awesome teacher, is to become a great communicator and to connect with an audience irrespective of which language that you're able to speak. Okay, you can do it in English, Marathi, Hindi, whatever language that you're comfortable in. The second important skill that you need to master in the next 1 year if you want to become rich is the skill of copywriting. The ability to use words to create a response in the minds of your readers. Okay, it's not just about video, but everything is words. I want you to imagine this. Everything in this world, a big aspect of it has to do with water. 80% of our body contains water. 80% of this world or the earth contains water. Similarly, even in your business, 80% of your business contains words. Okay, so words are the fundamental blocks of your business. And if you're able to understand how to become a good copywriter, I'm talking in terms of how do you use words to evoke a response? How do you use words to evoke an emotion in people? How do you use words to help people make a decision and take action? What we say is call to action, right? And when it comes to copywriting, there are 2 kinds of copywriters. One is these creative copywriters, and the other type of copywriters are the direct response copywriters. Okay, copywriters who are going to be using words and emotions to get people to take action. Now, that's what I'm talking about, not just creative copywriting and stuff like that. Okay, so it would come under teaching and communication, but it's more specific to do with writing. Okay, writing words. The third skill that you'll need to incorporate if you want to become super rich in the next 1 year is marketing skills. Now, when it comes to marketing, I'll again break it down into 3 elements. The first part of marketing is strategic thinking. Like, see, before you go out and start marketing, you need to have some kind of a plan on how do I approach it. Like even in the olden days, when countries used to have wars between each other, I'm talking about World War I, World War II, even back in history, some of the biggest nations in the world, they dominated the other space by having good strategic thinkers and strategic planners. Nowadays, you're not going to do wars and stuff like that. But here, going out and putting yourself out there is like going into a battlefield. And of course, you're not going to be killing anyone or in this battlefield. It's about acquiring new customers and dominating your space in the online space using strategic thinking. So what is this strategic thinking when it comes to marketing? Number 1 is understanding who's your audience. 2 is where are they hanging out online. 3 is what are their pain points and what exactly are they going through. 4th is what kind of solutions are they looking for? What kind of questions are they asking? 5th is what kind of content can you create that can fulfill their needs? What kind of content can you create that can attract their attention? All of this would come under strategic thinking in marketing. So this is the first part of marketing, is being able to think from the perspective of what your market really wants. 2 is social media marketing. You can pick any one of the channels. Instagram, you go deep into it. There's a whole bunch of strategies and tactics you can use over there. Facebook, Quora, YouTube, podcasting, Twitter. Each of these platforms has its own strategies that you can use. Okay, pros and cons. And the third part is performance marketing. So this is where you're going to be running ads. So performance marketing is a total science of its own on how to get people to click on your ads and to acquire leads and customers at the lowest cost. That's why it's called performance marketing, or PPC, pay-per-click ads, Facebook ads, Google ads, and so on. So this is also an important skill. If you master this skill, you can always outsource it to others later, but I would highly recommend that you get hands-on first before you give it hands-off to somebody else. Okay. The next skill that you need to have if you want to become rich in the next 1 year is the skill of building lists, list building. And when it comes to list building, again, I'll give you 3 things. One is how do you build funnels, landing pages where you can have well-designed landing pages that you can use to collect leads through that particular page. Now, funnel building is, I'm talking about the technology side of things, but once you're a good copywriter, you'll also be able to craft good headlines. Once you have a good design sense, you'll be able to design very good landing pages, and all of that would come under funnel building. The second part of funnel building is the actual skill of generating leads. So what can you do to strategically get leads? Yes, one is performance marketing, one is organic social media marketing, but how do you connect that to the whole list building process? And then how do you nurture those leads that come into your system, and how do you tag them properly? So for example, in my case, I've got different segments of leads. People who have registered for my webinar, that's one category of lead. People who attended my webinar, I tag them separately. People who registered but did not attend the webinar, I tag them separately. People who attended the webinar but left early, I tag them separately. And then people who become my level 1 customer, they're separate tag. Level 2 customer, separate tag. Level 3 customer. And each of these different tags have a different sequence of emails that are going to them, and I'm nurturing them in a unique way, depending on the stage of the journey in which they are in. So this is what I mean by when I say list building. It's not just about getting leads, but how do you nurture these leads? And this is a very powerful skill. If you are able to incorporate over the next 1 year, you'll be able to take your game to the whole different level. So by the way, if you're watching this video and if you found this useful, just type super useful in the chat box, and also hit that like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel, because if you want more content like this, crisp, to the point, no fluff, no BS stuff, hit the subscribe button and you'll get more of this. Okay. So the next skill that you need if you want to become super rich is the skill of being able to sell. Selling is one of the most important skills in the world today. Okay. People underestimate this, and all of us are selling. Okay. Even if you have a child, you're selling to a child. If you have a spouse, you're selling your ideas to a spouse. You're working in a company, you're selling your ideas to your boss. So selling is a very, very important skill. So there are 3 parts to it. One is face-to-face selling. Like how do you sell face-to-face in a one-to-one scenario, like a Zoom selling, one-to-one Zoom, and maybe if you're doing consulting, if you want to get high ticket clients, or you're an agency, you want to get customers through face-to-face, is an important skill. The second skill is a funnel selling skills, where you drive people to a funnel landing page, you have a video that's playing, people watch that video, and then they go to the next step, and then they go buy. So it's like a direct selling funnel, and there are 12 different funnels that I talk about inside my paid community, but funnel selling is a very important skill. And webinar selling, how do you sell one to many? And this is by far one of the most important skills in the world, webinar selling, because many of my students who have been able to make multiple crores in revenues have been able to master one-to-many selling. It's a combination of one-to-one and one-to-many, but one-to-many, they're able to get people into their products. That's what makes them rich. Okay. The next skill is the skill of coaching. See, coaching is a very, very sacred skill, because you need to be a good listener and understand people more as you get into the space of coaching. So when it comes to coaching, I'll break it down into 3 parts. One is the skill of strategic coaching. How do you give people strategic advice based on your own experience? For example, I have a group called the Quantum Club, which is my premium level group and customers. So in my Quantum Club, I do a one-to-one, like a strategic one-to-ones with my students every 3 months. The one-to-ones don't last for very long. It's like 15-20 minutes, but I can easily crack the code and tell them exactly what they have to do, which buttons to push, and how do they tweak their strategy to get results. Now, to be good at strategic one-to-ones, you should be really good at your topic to be able to give strategic advice to people within a very short span of time. And the best way to build this skill is to do more and more strategic one-to-ones pertaining to your topic. The second kind of one-to-one skill is a life coaching skill. Now, this is slightly different. These are where you're dealing with people's emotions. The first kind of one-to-one coaching skill is more to do with the head and logical based one-to-one. This is more heart based, understanding emotions, understanding why people are, learning to listen to them, learning how to process emotions, learning how to process people's challenges. All of this would come under the second coaching skill, which again, it takes time to build as you do it. And the third is a group coaching skill. So group coaching is like, even in my diamond member calls, I do like group coaching calls. I get people on a hot seat, I evaluate, I do one-to-one with one person, but everybody is watching, and then I go from one-to-one to one-to-many in the same call itself. So even group coaching is a very important skill, where you can work with a set of people and help them get breakthroughs and so on. That is skill number 6. And finally, skill number 7, if you want to become rich, is the skill of building communities and holding people together. And this, again, I'll break it down into 3 parts. The first part is, how do you activate communities? I know there are a lot of people who are good good at selling, but they're not good at building communities and building tribes. So how do you activate communities is how do you orient them? How do you set the context? How do you make sure that they are going to be coming back and getting nurtured more and more? So activation, the first part, is more about how do you set the journey for them. Second is community gamification. What kind of rewards system can you set into place that will inspire them to go from one stage to the next stage to the next stage? Okay, now that's also a skill that you got to build. And the third one is how do you facilitate communities, and how do you create facilitators in communities that can really take the load off your back, where you can work with the facilitators and the facilitators work with the people. And there's a whole process in this which I teach inside my community building process. Okay, so this is another skill that's going to help you become rich. So overall, if you see, these are the 7 skills that will make you rich. And of course, there are other skills like managing your money, constantly learning, and there are many sub skills. And if you feel that there are any more skills than this, according to your perspective, I would like you to share in the comment box below, and I would like to read your comments also. But these are the skills that have helped me take my business from scratch to a multi-crore business. Okay, teaching, copywriting. So copywriting, I write emails on social media, on landing pages. I'm always using words. Marketing, the ability to record videos, podcasts, and multiple other formats. The ability to build lists, the ability to sell, the ability to coach people, and the ability to hold people together. These are the top 7 skills if you want to become rich in the next 1 year. If you found this useful, please share your comments below, and make sure once again you hit that like button on this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you'd like to get more content like this. It'll be short, to the point, crisp, no BS, point shooter style teaching. If you'd like more of this, please stay tuned for more. All the best. Siddharth Rajsekar here, signing off. Bye-bye.